In example 2, we have some facts that state that we drove for an hour and we went 72 kilometers. So for part A, it asks for our speed in kilometers per hour. Okay, so since we have our information in those units, we can plug in directly to our formula that we used before of speed is distance over time. So if our distance is 72 kilometers and we drove for 1 hour, then we had a speed of 72 kilometers per hour. Part B of this example asks for the speed for the same trip, but in meters per second. So this is where the conversions that we learned in Unit 1 can help us out. Okay, so let's start with our distance. We had 72 kilometers as our distance, but we're trying to convert that to meters. So remember when we're converting, if you have kilometers on top, that would mean in my conversion factor, remember that's a fraction that equals 1, kilometers is going to be on the bottom. We know that kilometers is related to meters, so we can put meters on top. Okay? Notice that my kilometers would divide out, leaving me with meters, so that means I probably have this set up correctly. And the relationship is that there are 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. So that means that there are 72,000 meters in 72 kilometers. We also need to convert our time. So we know that we took an hour for our trip. Okay, most of us think in terms of hours, minutes, and seconds. So let's convert to minutes first. If hours are on top, that means hours would go on the bottom. And we know that there is a relationship between hours and minutes. Okay, notice my hours divide out. And my relationship is that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. We're going to do the same thing to get to seconds. So because minutes are on top, minutes will go on the bottom, letting me put seconds on top. Minutes will divide out, leaving me with 60 seconds per minute as my numbers that I would plug in. So when I do the math, I'd have 1 times 60 over 1 times 60 over 1, which is 3,600 or 3,600 seconds. Okay, now that we have that information, we can go back to our original speed formula of distance over time, because now we have the right units. So now we would just plug in our distance, which is now 72,000 meters, and our time, which we found to be 3,600 seconds. 72,000 divided by 3,600 is 20, and that leaves me with meters per second as the unit for my speed. So even though that seems like a pretty simple question, it's actually a 3-step kind of problem in order to get to your final speed of 20 meters per second.